It's me inside. Rely on yourself and no way. Believe.
Good morning, everybody. It is middle of the week. All right. Now remember again, tomorrow I'm not on. I am out of town. Just so you guys remember, I'm not here tomorrow. However, today I am. And I want to jump right in. No comedy this morning. This whole thing is going to be pretty much comedy, but no comedy today. Intentional comedy, no intentional comedy. We are going to be discussing something that I've noticed that many of the popular people that call themselves Christian um, like to, best way to say this, they espouse this particular sentiment in order to keep their affiliations with the people that made them famous. You will find that many of the celebrities that are out there that say they're Christian, that's what they say. They still have mad affiliation with some people that are, let's just say, they're not walking the correct way. And I don't mean just not walking; they are directly running the opposite direction. And in their mind, they say, "Oh, we're only doing that because we're trying to help, to minister, to those statements." But and they'll bring up situations like, well, Jesus went to the wedding in Cana, and there was a bunch of things that he went and he hung out with prostitutes and he hung out with tax collectors and blibbity blabbity blue. Here's one thing that happened almost immediately after Jesus hung out with these people. There was a heart change in those people. They didn't stay the same. You see the difference? When you say you hang out with these people because you're trying to convince them or bring them to God, the problem is you've been doing that for years now. Like y'all been hanging out for a long time and ain't no change taking place. Like it was almost like, say, when Zacchaeus came to Jesus, it was an instantaneous, direct. He went right at him. Jesus went right to the heart of the issue. Every prostitute he ever talked to, straight to the heart of the issue. Every time. But when y'all do it, there doesn't seem to be any kind of, I don't know what's the word, change that takes place. There didn't seem to be nothing adjusted. There, life just seems to go on for you. And so we're gonna run down some rabbit holes with two people in particular, Lacrae and T.D Jakes. So we'll start off with Mr. T.D. Now, this is at the same party. The video I'm going to show you is all clips from the same party that Mr. Jakes attended, that P. Diddy was the host of. I apologize for the imagery, but Mr. Jakes was there ministering to Puff Daddy. Okay, so if he can endure it, surely us of lesser cloth can do it. Okay, this lady was at that party. Y'all see anything wrong with the picture so far? Anything at all? Okay, here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Happy birthday to you. We love you. Happy birthday to you, Puff Daddy. Happy birthday, Puff Daddy. TD, it's been 6 to 7 years now that you've been supposedly ministering to Puffy. But every time I see Puff, there hasn't been any change at all in him. Now, remember, you are a called man of God, like you've been summoned by God himself. Okay, so I would think that would carry some weight. And I don't just mean your body size. I mean, that should carry some weight, but it doesn't carry weight because it has no effect. That there is no effect. Oh, sorry. No, I lie. There is an effect. There is an effect. And that effect is not the effect that I think we should be expecting. There is an effect that happened. I was wrong. TD, I was wrong. There is indeed influence happening in your relationship with Puff. Here's the influence. It seems like 6 years to 7 years, there has been quite a transference of influence, but not the way that it should have been. So you're the one they call the mentor. But this doesn't look like you have what you call it, been the one influencing. You look awful lot like the one being influenced. So here's the question. Are you doing what you say you're doing? Are you actually doing that? Or is it that the delusion that you possess is making you believe that you did something? Or you're not doing something and you just like using the title of mentor and helping, making it sound good, but you're not. I think it's the last one. I think you're just using the title. I think you're just using the title. I think you love the environment that Puff Daddy has. I think you love the way things happen with Puff. I think you love the environment to the point where you even go to a sermon and encourage your wife to twerk for the Lord. I'm pretty sure that the influence is there, but it's from Puff to you, not the other. I'm pretty sure he's your mentor. Now, don't forget, TD, you're the one that have had multiple men come forward saying that you were preying on them. And I don't mean P-R-A-Y. I mean P-R-E-Y, sexually preying on them, making advances to them, wanting to bed them. That was you, Mr. Jakes. Please don't forget that was you. Still is. I'm pretty sure still is. Could possibly be what the FBI found in Puff might actually be linked to what you do. So, but the question of the show today is where was God in all that? If you say now, this is what you say, you're a preacher. That's what you are. Where was God at that party? Where was God at that party, Mr. Jakes? I'm not calling you Reverend, Pastor, none of that stuff. Where was the party? The God in that? Where you went to it. So where was God? Be in, not of, do not conform, but yet still you do. You go out there conforming away. But hey, you're a minister, you're going in and amongst the sinners to do what you got to do, right? But with no fruit. But to everyone else, this is exactly what they will espouse. They're trying to do something for the kingdom. They're doing something for God, blah, 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 blah. However, nothing they do yields anything for God or for the kingdom. It yields it for theirs. It definitely gets them praise and respect and adulations from men, but it nothing to do with the kingdom. And then you have Lacrae.
That night, and they'll see if you a meatball, yo, bro, here, hit this blunt. You ain't see the blunt get rolled, or yo, bro, take this drink right here. And you like, hold on, bro. Listen, homie, I ain't with that. And some dudes that get drunk. Like I've been in studios with artists, famous artists, And I seen take a bottle that wasn't theirs and they in the studio all woozy. I mean, I'm out. I don't know what happened to that person after, but that shit didn't, you know, it's like trying to get a chick drunk because we want to pop. Right? So
I wasn't even gonna say nothing about this, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I've been to a couple Diddy parties. Now, I'm risking a lot by saying this because I know as soon as I say that, all the assumptions are going to come in and if I don't say evil things were taking place, then I'm covering for them. And if I do say evil things were taking place, then I'm one of them ones like, yeah, Lacrae, expose it. You know what I'm saying? And I've been to lots of parties. I've been to Jamie Foxx. I've been with Snoop, T.I. Like, I've been to lots of places. There are people who will test you. There are people who will see how far your limits are.
So why keep going? You see the problem. You're talking as though we're supposed to give you credit for not giving in. But you keep going to where the temptation is. Like, how is that logical, Lacrae? I mean, I don't want to call you stupid, but you're stupid. You got to be a whole moron to think, yeah, I'm going to go to this party, that party, knowing people are going to be there that do not share your belief in God. But you still put yourself in there. You know you go there witnessing drug use, drinking, sexual debauchery, and you still go? You don't mention once that you stop and say, hey, guys, we can have a party without all that. You don't do that. You know why? Because it's their party. You're going to that party because you like the atmosphere of that party. Don't lie to us and say, well, there were people that test you and I didn't give in. Lies. Okay, so what's the lure? What is the lure of going? You tell me. What's the lure? Huh? What's the lure? Why are you going? Maybe you'll tell me. Maybe you'll tell me why you go.
And if you're willing to take a step, then they'll take two. I, in my personal experience, never saw anything where someone was like, you can't move any further unless you do X, Y, or Z.
You see the premise he's putting on it? Do you see the premise? Well, as long as I'm not offered something for my career, I can go. But just before, you say there are going to be people that test you. So which is it? Which is it? Oh, as long as I don't phrase it, you can't go any higher. As long as I don't say that, it's a cool thing to go to. This is the problem we face today. This is the biggest problem. The biggest problem is that there are voices like his and T.D. Jakes that will get the ear of way more people than you and I ever will. Let's just be honest about that. They will have the ear of metric tons more people than we ever will, which makes them way more dangerous to the kingdom than we ever will be. Way more dangerous. We are talking about a man sitting in front of you saying, well, you know, man, look, I've seen some stuff, but that don't mean I'm well, you want me to just tell? Yeah, tell. But you won't tell because you love the influence. You're no different than T.D. Jakes. You are no different. You want the blending of the two. You want the lines blurred so much that no one will ever call you out for doing this.
But what I did see was if you do X, Y, or Z, well, keep coming because you're, you know, and that's how we all are. It's Psalm.
No, we are not all like that. Here comes the caveat. Listen.
1, right?
In Psalms 1.
It says, blessed is the man who does not walk in the counsel of the wicked, who does not stand in the way
seat
of
the
sinners, who does not sit in the seat
Yeah,
of mockers.
right.
You start walking.
But you did. But you did. And you do. You just told us you do. You went to multiple parties of people who mock, who scoff, you did that. That was you. You walked there because it was multiple times. You know what you have to do to walk? Step after step after step. You have to repeat it. You went repeatedly to the location where he said you're blessed if you don't go. You went there.
They gonna walk with you, and now you find yourself standing. They like, oh, you stand? Well, if you stand, come sit.
You understand the kind of mental gymnastics you got to do to think that you are, listen carefully. I'm different, y'all. I'm different. Just because I go to every one of these parties does not mean that I'm going to give in, because I'm stronger than everybody else, you know. I know what I'm doing. Y'all just don't understand how good I am. This is the mindset that will get people into mass amounts of trouble. I mean, mass amounts of trouble. You still decide, after witnessing, hearing, and knowing what takes place at these parties, whether or not you participate in it has little to do or nothing to do with what takes place there. It is no different than someone who says, well, I'm going to the strip club. Why? Well, they got good chicken wings there, so I'm just going to go to the strip club and eat my chicken wings. Now, mind you, the chicken wings is at the bar, and the bar is right next to the stage, and the stage has the pole where the ladies dance naked. And you say, well, I'm not going there for that. I'm just going for the chicken wings, y'all. Look, you don't understand the chicken wings until you've had chicken wings from the strip club. They give you thighs in more ways than one. I go there for not female legs and breasts. I go there for the chicken legs and breasts. Big difference. Big difference, y'all. Okay? Don't you equate me with some dude flinging dollars. My dollars are going to the bartender for my chicken strips, okay? And in either case, I'm blind in my periphery. I can't see anyway, so I can't see it. That's how stupid Lacrae sounds. That's how moronic he sounds. That's how asinine his whole statement is. Well, I'm only going because they're my friend. And I do collab with them and thing, you know, we just sing our song, we do our little thing, you know. Look, I understand because I've made the same excuses. Trust me, I've lived enough in the other side of the world where I know I made excuses to go somewhere. I made those excuses in order to make it look as though I'm going for a good reason, but in my heart, I know where I'm going. I know exactly why. But on the surface, I can say it. Well, listen, it wasn't on me. I was going there for one thing, and then, but so you got to understand that I wasn't trying. I mean, that's what they do. He had a sit down though with who used to be one of my favorite female gospel singers. He had a sit down with her, and the reason I say she was is because of exactly what she's going to talk about, and their logic is always rooted the same way. We have to learn how to bridge the gap. We have to. Is that our job? Anyway, just listen to this first piece here, and see if it makes sense to you. Because I don't know, they realized that there is no separation between you two. Quite possibly, people started seeing something that I don't know was out of place. They may have seen that. Just maybe. Just maybe. The song that they're talking about is I'm Getting Ready. So hear me out, Tasha. Are you helping Nicki Minaj get ready? Because here's what Nicki's version of the song is, okay? Y'all ready for Nicki's lines? Y'all ready? I don't know if you're ready for Nicki's line. Okay. Yo, hey, yo, beach house vibes maneuver the jet ski. I'm going to let you make sure you get the imagery of everything where she's saying, okay? Beach house vibes maneuver the jet ski because I serve the God that parted the Red Sea. Multi-million-dollar commercials from Pepsi. From food stamps to more ice than Gretzky. I'm still waiting. I gotta talk. The Lord defends me. I watch them all fall for going against me. Nicki? Nicki's blessed by God? That's what you want me to believe? That Nicki Minaj is singing on a Christian album because she's blessed by God? Because me and all my angels shot the devil up, S-H-O-T. While you was trying to pull me down, I leveled up. I leveled up twice. I leveled up 3 times. Sounds like Dr. Seuss. He tapped him and told him she's mine. So even when I cried, I knew I'd be fine. Prepare for a miracle blessing in these times. Now praise him, raise him, name it, and claim it. Every tongue that rise up against me, shame it. I breathe success in and out my lungs. I got the power of life and death coming out of my tongue. I'm going to read that last line again for you. I breathe success in and out of my lungs. I got the power of life and death coming out of my tongue. Let's do something. Yeah? Let's do something. I want to read this. I want let's see what the Bible says about that. Because you know Nicki's ready. Apparently, Nicki's ready. Tasha Cobb said so. Let's go to Proverbs 18, shall we? Proverbs 18. We'll go from verse 19 because they're all kind of separated and not necessarily concurrent thoughts. Okay. A brother offended is harder to win than a strong city, and contentions are like the bars of a castle. A man's stomach shall be satisfied from the fruits of his mouth, from produce of his lips shall he be filled, and death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruit. She just told you in the song that she will speak life and death. And yet still, Tasha Cobbs will do a collab with her and allow her to put it into the song about getting ready to go to heaven. And then all of your blessings, money, the jet skis, the rings, the diamonds, all of it is because of God. While you sing about WAP and you sing about sex and you sing about booty shaking and you talk about oral sex and all that stuff, that's good. Fine, no problem there. Because that's blessed by God, right, Tasha? So you pick that person to do a collab and allow them to say the things they say in that song for God. Finish your thought. You did? And he's like, yeah, I did the right thing. Why? Because, influence. God remember at the beginning of his conversation with her, you made it. You made it to the top billboard. You made it. You made your money. You made it your thing. You're known. Is that what it's about? Being known. Here's the thing. I am sure there are tons of songs out there, Christian songs, that are straight biblical. I have no doubt. No doubt. And I've heard quite a few of them. However, you will never see those artists collaborating with the demons out there and saying, oh, I'm just trying to win a soul. This is the problem with keeping the word of God hid, like that one talent guy, because you know what it will do to people. The word itself will do what the word has to do, which is why when you pollute it, the efficacy is lost. That's the whole point. They're not trying to have the word do it. They want the credit. For whatever takes place, they want the credit. Look how far Kirk Franklin has come. Something about the name Jesus, right? To lipstick, rouge, and twerking on stage. Gyrating on men and women on stage. Because it's no longer about that. That's crazy to me. The music industry, as well as the entertainment industry, have taken over Christian and gospel music. Not that I don't even know if it was ever a part of the church. Let's just be honest. I'm sorry to say it. I don't know that was ever actually about God. I think, I honestly believe that gospel music and Christian music, that's the way it was about entertainment. Did y'all know that most of the hymns came from pub songs? And I don't mean popular ones. I'm talking about like shanties and drinking, clashing mugs together. Most of the old hymns came, in terms of the music, came from that influence. A lot of them, however, kept biblical in the wording. And because most of the sinners understood that music sound, they used the sound in order to get them to listen to the words. The difference with that versus what's going on now is that they use the influence of the world and then participate in the influence of the world and never actually preach the gospel to anybody. They never, ever preach the gospel. I'll give you a good example of a song that did exactly that. There was a song, an old hymn, and I'm talking about old, 1891 old, okay? And it took every bit of the soldiers and the pub scene from back then and put it into music. And then took all of the faith concepts and put it into words, okay? You may have heard this one before. It's called Faith is the Victory. I don't know if you all know that one. It's an old one, Faith is the Victory, but it has a you all know that kind of, on the that's what it's about. That's the feel you get when you sing the song. This were the words. Encamped along the hills of light, you Christian soldiers rise, and press the battle ere the night shall veil the glowing skies. Against the foe in veils below, let all our strength be hurled. Faith is the victory we know that overcomes the world. His banner over us is love, our sword, the word of God. We tread the road the saints above with shouts of triumphs trod. By faith they like a whirlwind's breath swept o'er our every field. The faith by which they conquered death is still our shining shield. To him that overcomes the foe, white raiment shall be given. Before the angels he shall know his name confessed in heaven. Then onward from the hills of light, our heart with love aflame will vanquish all the host of night in Jesus' conquering name. Tell me the last time you heard any modern, secular, or Christian sing a song like that. You will not hear it anymore. You will hear a lot of fluff. The problem with people like Lacrae, like Tasha Cobbs, like T.D. Jakes, is that they put themselves in a position where the influence of the world has become their vehicle, and they don't even get into the car with God on their side. The car dictates everything. They're using every aspect of money, fame, fortune as the vehicle for so-called God's word, and they never take God with them in the car. Not once. He never even approaches the passenger seat, much less the driver's side. And if Jesus is supposed to be taking you where you're supposed to go, would he need the world in order to be the carrier, or is he sufficient enough? I can admit that CeCe Winans is one of my favorite female artists still, because she's still standing on one very important premise. And until I see her slip off of it, I will commend her. She will not compromise what she knows about God for anybody. I appreciate that about her. I have looked and tried to find where she has gone to events that are completely contrary to what she says she believes. I haven't found it yet. If you guys have found it, please let me know. But I haven't found it yet. I'm like, when I tell you I'm grateful that at least one is still sticking to her guns. I'm glad. I am glad. Now, I'm not going to say that it's because of her. Yes, she's definitely. All I know is that she has not gone there. She has not. But some of these others that I really thought were there, they've gone. They've gone over to this place where they want to be known for their singing, their ability to collab with this one and that one and the other one, and leave God completely out of it. Completely out of it. But this is where we are. The world's influence is indeed a troublemaking aspect of this. And it sneaks in some of the most pervasive ways ever. From writing of songs that want to be inclusive of everybody and totally forget the blood. That's the only inclusion that you can find. And it's not inclusion because of your belief, your orientation, your sex, your gender. That's not what God means by inclusion. Everybody is seen through one lens. But in order to be seen through that one lens, the old you has to die. There is no self-identification in that location. None. What the church has done, modern church, has flipped that around and says everybody's accepted because God accepts everybody. They've totally ignored the sacrifice side of it. That's gone. You don't give up anything. In fact, God knows who you are, and he's completely okay with it. You just need to accept you too. No. Nope, nope, nope. No, that's not how it goes. I want to read one last thing here. Okay. And this one is going to tell you exactly how this should go. Let me see if I can find the right one here. There we go. Okay. So in Luke 18, okay, starting at verse 9, he spoke this parable to some who trusted in themselves that they were righteous and despised others. Two men went up to the temple to pray, one a Pharisee and the other a tax collector. The Pharisee stood and prayed thus with himself: God, I thank you that I am not like other men, extortioners, unjust, adulterers, or even as this tax collector. I fast twice a week. I give tithes to with all I possess. And the tax collector, standing afar off, would not so much as raise his eyes to heaven, but beat his breast, saying, God, be merciful to me, a sinner. I tell you that this man went down to his house justified rather than the other. For everyone who exalts himself will be humbled, and whoever humbles himself will be exalted. Their goal is self-adulation. Otherwise, he would not need to mention Tasha accolades. You've done this, you've had this record, you have Grammys, you have this, you have awards. The seeking of man's validation is what they're after. And when people come and tell them, you need to understand your place before God is that you were not worthy. And your worthiness is not even in you or what you can accomplish. The worthiness is in the blood. When they tell them that, shut up, you're not like me. You just don't understand. I'm much better than that. I can handle this. Don't you talk to me about I can. They're the Pharisee. The tax collector understood one very important thing. I'm not worthy. I'm simply not worthy. I'm not. And with that being the case, have mercy on me. The church has long come from that and moved on to something completely different. And it's not of God. Which is why it's going to be so difficult for people to find a body that is really about trying to get back to the cross, not away from it. Not to try and find acceptance by the world, but to be accepted by God, his way, and only his way. This is crazy to me. It's just crazy to me. If you still listen to some of these people, I would ask you I'm not telling you what to do. Okay, I'm asking you to do one thing. Measure what they say and do to the only place you can measure it against, and that's God. If it don't line up, maybe don't hold him in as high regard as you do. And I definitely wouldn't call him Christian artist. Lacrae, I agree with him when he says he's not a Christian artist. He's definitely right. I don't agree with him for his reasonings. I agree with him that the title should not be Lacrae is a Christian artist. He's a secular artist pretending to sing Christian songs and themes, but he's not a Christian, nor has he ever been. I don't know what he will be, but I know he ain't now. He ain't one now. He has not been one, and none of his songs reflect it. Tasha Cobbs, whatever you were before, you ain't now. The instant you decided to hook up with Nicki Minaj and have her write anything about God, not even knowing him, you've lost it. T.D. Jakes has never been called by God. He never will be called by God based on his track record and where he's going. And because he's so delusional, thinking that he's already there, there's nowhere left for him to go. And when I say a massive act of God has to happen for him to be smartened up, I pray that happens. Will it? Don't know. But judging by how receptive he is, he's not going to listen anyway. I don't know how much more things you have to see. But his out is always the same. Well, if I did do it, all I got to do is I just got to say sorry. Just apologize and move on. Really. Okay. Do what you got to do then. In any case, the in and of the world was asked of us to be here. We live here. This is where our abode is right now. We have no choice. But this is not where we are supposed to be placing our emphasis. We're not supposed to be of it. We're in, but not of. Lacrae, those guys, they want to be of. Heck, you saw it with even, what's his name now? Mr. Gray, Bryson Gray. No concept of actually who God is because he can't even keep God straight in his mind. He has no concept of it, but he reads the book all the time, he says. And you can know what the fruits of the Spirit are, but yet still he goes to try and have a collaboration with one of the most demonic people out there in Kanye West. You see what I mean? The influence of man, the okay of man, the acceptance of man, the reach of man they want under the title of God. They have no problem using his name. No problem using his name. But their hearts are far from him. You can tout all the anti-gay this and the anti-trans that, and that's great. You have that in your wheelhouse. Demons know that too. Interesting to me. In either case, all I know is that for us, we need to be more discerning. We need to be more discerning. We have to weigh it all against what we know about God and what he says about himself. And if we don't do that, then we'll become just like them. Just like them. Now, I'm not being like the Pharisee. Thank you, I'm not like them. I don't want to be like them. The difference is they're not like the tax collector. They're not rushing after the throne. They're rushing after their own throne. They're quietly and sometimes even loudly building their own. They have no desire to fall, prostrate, be rid of self. They don't want to do that. They can't do that because self is too important. Self makes money. Self makes money. And you got to have that dough. Got to get that cheddar. Got to get that cheddar. No, get the cheddar, Mr. Jakes. Get that cheddar, Lacrae. Get that cheddar, Tasha. Be known. Be known. Tomorrow, I have an appointment. It's not a bad thing, but I'll come back Friday. I'll give you an update on everything that's going on with me so you're in the same. I won't give you everything. I'll give you a good rundown of what's going on. And we'll go from there. Scrolling at the bottom, options for whatever he tells you to do. Make sure you talk to God first about that. And then the Savage Patriots will be on today. We'll be talking about Mr. Robert De Niro. Should be pretty funny. And then Friday will be, what's the term we call it? Famous Fridays. We have a few for Famous Fridays. We have a few. A good few. So look out for that one. Savage Day, nothing tomorrow. And I'll be back on Friday. Good luck with your surgery, Kara. Good luck with your surgery. So we'll catch up then. I think that's all I have in terms of announcements. So make sure you guys go check out the live we did yesterday on Too Strong. We'll be doing another one on Friday night. And we will have Othello with us that day. So it'll be a long one though. So make sure you come. You're coming for the long haul. Wisdom calls to you from the streets. So please, please, please find wisdom. Peace.
Hold tight the dreams, for if dreams die,